Good afternoon. Welcome back to episode 2 of Knowledge Corner. In the last episode, I talked about um, what my goal of the channel was to be. I talked about the two young men that I had helped. I talked about one of them more than the other, but we'll get further into them a little in some later episodes. I'm going to have at least one of them on just to express themselves. But today I wanted to talk about, I think I've mentioned transition points in the last episode, and I wanted to further talk about that and to kind of explain my point of view of transition points at this time. um, when I say transition points, I mean it's just a certain time when a child is, for lack of a better term, is it's like they're going to be expected to do a little more. So, in elementary school, right from at this point, you have kids that, depending upon the circumstances of the family, once they're born, they're pretty much with you until maybe they're 3, and then I think the pre-K process starts, 3 or 4 at least. Then the pre-K process starts, and then they transition into the school and the initial school environment, which is pre-K, and they're 3 or 4 years old at that point. So they'll go through that elementary schools, that 5-6 years to 5th grade, and then they'll transition again and when they're going into 6th grade to that middle school environment, and then again as they go into 9th grade to the high school environment, and then again into, I'll call it the real world, the young adult real world environment for them. And is at that time, I think last video I said that 6th grade was an important time, and I'll expand on that. 6th grade, it's just the level of independence that they have in middle school is probably more than they've seen in up until that point. So 6th grade, you truly are changing classes. You're not staying in the same classes. Even though I know some elementary schools that at that 5th grade year, probably the third and fourth quarter, they're letting the kids um, change classes to give them that exposure. Some schools are doing it the entire year. I'm not sure, but that's a good gateway into what they're going to be doing in middle school. So uh, the school environment changes because it becomes more social than even elementary, and for some kids that could be a little bit more difficult than others. Acceptance is very important at all levels, but at that middle school level, it becomes is very important to the kids being accepted. So our role in our loved one's life at that point is significant, because at school, if they are not with a certain group, or with a certain in a certain accepted by a certain group, or whatever it may be, they they need to know that they're accepted in their home life. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Somebody said that they don't like you. It's okay. It's not the end of the world. If because them not liking you is their problem. It's not your problem, because it takes so much effort not to like someone. And so if someone says to you that they don't like you, it's okay. Just keep it moving, and you shouldn't lose any sleep over it. And that especially 6th graders, because they're coming into that new environment and it's new to them. 7th graders is too, and 8th graders, it could be awkward, all of it. But I just feel it with them, with that age group, the independence level changes. It's like a shift in it, and a little bit more is expected from them. So it could be a time where behaviors shift for the good or the bad. It could be a time where grades can shift for the good or the bad. It really just have to be on top of them during that time, because they could get swept away in whatever that world has going on. And when I say that, it could be the new craze, whatever the new craze is. Now I know TikTok is very social. It is a social media platform, and is very important to them. And getting friends on TikTok, friends on Instagram, or whatever their social media preference is very important. Likes are very important. Making a post and not getting any likes can be catastrophic for them. So it's just a lot that needs to be considered when we're dealing with our young people at that age. And more so than we think. We're going through our daily grind, whatever that may be, whether it's work or dealing with the household or all the above. But the kids have their own thing too, and what I've tried to be is just reassuring them that it's going to be okay. The next day is coming, and it's going to be just even better tomorrow. So I just think we have to do what we can. And as far as some people say you don't want to entertain it, but I think you have to entertain it a little bit, because it's affecting them, and it's affecting them, and anything that affects them is going to affect their behavior, and their behavior can affect their grades, and it's just all a chain. So I just feel like we need to continue to take the steps to assist them. Let them have that outlet, whether it is the sports, basketball, football, soccer, track, baseball, whatever that is. If it is the band, because band becomes prominent in that middle school, they learn their instruments, and whether it's music, whatever it is, let them have their outlet, because they're going to need it. Just like as an adult, we have our outlets, and we need those. Children need theirs as well. So when you want that conversation about the future, their future, to always be not the end all be all, but in their mind somewhat. What are you thinking about doing how are you going to pay for your first apartment? What are you going to be doing when you to make your money? And that's get them thinking about that. I think I mentioned in the first video about exposing them to careers. If you whatever your career is, let them know what you're doing to make your money, to provide for your home. Let them know what you're doing, and explain the trials and tribulations that you went through to get to that point, because they need to know that as well. It's not always easy. It's not always going to be easy in this world, but you still have to keep going. I just feel like exposure is very important. If you have a day where you could take them to your office, or you could take them, if you don't have an office, if it's just talking to them about your day, what you did that day. Talk to them about what they did that day. What did you learn today? All that's important, and it plays a significant role in how they operate. It's just a lot that that we're facing in this world today, and I don't know what was pushed me to think about our kids, because our kids are our future, and they're gonna need all the support and love that they can get from us, because for one, we're not always going to be here for them, and they're going to need the tools in place to to handle everything that this world who can that can be this world can be cruel at times. They're going to need those tools to do continue to pursue what they need to pursue in life. I as I get better at this, I'm going to be a little bit more